G'day Battlers, and welcome to episode 51 of the G'day Battlers podcast, where we are continuing on with the Road to Worlds, where we're going to be talking to all of the Aussie competitors that are going to be competing at the World Championships in Anaheim. I'm PvP Stephen, joined by Deberald Peberald, and today we are also joined by three fellow Aussies. We're joined by Avrip, aka Avrip, some people call him, also Jumothy, and TheyLuvJy, aka, I'm not going to say the other name, check out the NAIC VOD. But guys, welcome in. I mean, Adam, how are we feeling?
I knew you'd introduce me that way as well. Like it's not even a surprise to me anymore. But nevertheless, yeah, good to be on here. Thanks for having me on board.
I expected Adam to just like have a hang up sound straight after you said that. Like, you know,
Look, I was tempted to, but
Yeah.
got to stick to my word.
No, fair enough.
Very good,
Actually,
very good.
let's make this a bit more efficient. We'll go for the introduce yourself. So, Avrip, I should call you, I guess.
Yes, sir.
I guess introduce yourself, to the people that don't quite know you yet, I suppose.
Hello everyone. My name's Adam or Avrip online. I've been playing this game since pretty much day one. Big into the PvP scene. And I will be a 4 times world competitor soon. And I also write for the Pokemon Go Hub.
Yeah, I saw some milestones recently, but we might get to that a little later, I guess. But
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But Jumothy, first time on the podcast, welcome in. Good to see you as well. I guess, for those that don't know you, I guess, who are you? What have you done, etc., etc.
So I'm Jim or Jumothy. I've been playing Pokemon Go since day one as well, but I'm pretty new to the more of like the play Pokemon circuit. I prior to this I've just been playing like GBL, but I think this is my first season where I've kind of grinded the whole season out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I said it when I talked to you on the Melbourne broadcast, but I liked it better when I was winning. But look, and TheyLuvJy also joining us as well. Jai, how are you? Who are you? You did qualify for Worlds last year, and we didn't talk to you then, so I guess we've finally got you on.
Yeah, I did. Jai or TheyLuvJy, and yeah, I've qualified for Worlds this year and last year, but last time it was too expensive. I was 17, so I had to bring a parent with me. So I ended up just keeping the money, and it went a little bit towards some stuff in New Orleans this year, which was really good. Competed in NAIC with all the rest of these boys, and I did pretty good. I am very happy, but I'm also a little disappointed by my day two. But also Perth runner-up last year and this year. Yeah, and Alola Ninetales, enjoy.
Or Alola Ninetales, some would say. The Pokemon.com website might say.
Yeah, there's no picture of Jai on there. It's just a picture of a Shadow A9.
I don't think he has a
Perfect
picture, quite
spelling.
frankly. Actually, Debbie, I hope that in this podcast we've actually got a picture of A9 instead.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah,
I can
Yeah.
edit that in.
Okay,
like,
great.
right here. But like Jai, you've already like touched a little bit on it, but Perth. We're going to go throughout the whole season and go in chronological order. And in Perth, all three of you competed there. Now, Jai kind of did not really a spoiler anymore. I think everyone knows the result, but you did come second in the Perth regional. But we'll definitely get to that. But we'll go like everyone actually here that competed did really well. So let's go and just kind of recap Perth regional. I know it was a while ago, but let's recap. Adam, do you want to talk about your run? I mean, like you're, I suppose, like one of the people that have like gone to Perth regional, like every single one of them. So it's very, very familiar to you. How did it feel going in again and this time round? And in my opinion, you've done quite a success with your run.
Yeah, so obviously the Perth regional, I've been to every single one, and I feel like every single year they're just getting harder and harder and harder. Obviously I've won one of them, which is great. Happy to have that under my belt. But it feels like the quality of the players are getting a lot better now. And now that these world travel invites are so competitive, I feel like there's more people flying in from around the world just to compete in Perth, and it makes it very, very difficult. But it's obviously a lot of fun. Besides the fact that it's only a 15-minute drive for me, and I don't have to travel half the world to get there. I'm happy with my results and everything, and it really helped me to secure obviously to qualify for Worlds eventually, and also helped me get travel awards to a few different places. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, look, Adam is always one of the guys that is sort of a favorite when the Perth Regional Championship comes around, as that, coming second and coming first, and then like even top 8 last year as well. And I don't think Debbie said it explicitly, but all three of you came top 6 in Perth as well, which is kind of crazy to say the least. But I guess Adam, specifically for you, you dropped very early, because I think the storyline that was sort of surrounding the 2025 Perth Regional Championship was that a lot of the big names lost really quick. Like there were a lot of
Oh,
early upsets, to say the least.
it was pretty much a scene from a movie, like the whole the comeback. Like you got to make the comeback from coming from losing so early. Like it was so difficult because obviously with early rounds you're expecting just an easy matchup, like just a bit of a warm up, and to get your ass kicked in round one when you're hoping to make it to the end is sort of a bit difficult mentally, but I guess when you're put under pressure and you've sort of got nowhere else to go, you sort of find something within yourself and just play every game to the best of your abilities. And having that sort of mindset helped me going from losing round one to making it almost all the way to the top, being the top 5. So I was very happy with my performance that day
Yeah.
after the early loss.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dracovi's page now, and it's a loss, and then a win, and 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 a win against some
Kept
guys.
going, baby.
And then finally taking the L to Pokey Moneymaker at the end. But yeah, pretty incredible
close.
run, and obviously a nice championship point start for you as well. And I guess maybe as we sort of finish, I guess, each of your runs, we can also mention, I guess, where were your thoughts in terms of like, from here, how do I qualify for Worlds?
Obviously the locals and stuff help a lot, but I had a feeling that it might not be enough to make it over the finishing line to qualify for Worlds. So I actually did 2 other pretty big tournaments, which was the EUIC and the NAIC. And going to those really helped me push me over the edge to actually qualify for Worlds. Because if I didn't go to those 2, I feel like I might not have made it otherwise. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Hedging the bets on the big tournaments, I suppose. But
Pretty much.
yeah, I guess, Jumothy, you went on a little bit of a different story at the Perth Regionals. No first round loss for you.
Yeah, it was actually a very big breakthrough for me because I think that was my first like really successful tournament. I've only played like two major tournaments before Perth, and I wasn't really taking it too seriously. Like I think even before Perth, it was when Corsola was coming out. I walked so much to trade with like someone I just met to get like a good IV1, but I had no idea like how scrimming worked in like the Go community. I remember like a week before the tournament, I was like googling like Pokemon Go Discord. So I joined the official one, and I'm like, do people play PvP here? And then I see like the last message sent in that chat was like a month ago. I'm like, that's probably not here. And then the day before the tournament, when we were signing up, Godzilla invited me to an Adequence's Discord, and that was like a gold mine to me because I like, oh wow, there's just all these like PvP people, like, oh, I see all these names I see on the TV, they're all just here, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I think that's when my really like competitive, I guess competitive
Flair was lit.
mindset came in. Yeah, yeah. And I think it also was I was a bit lucky during my run. I had like I think my first 3 wins. So I kind of skipped a lot of like really, really tough opponents, I feel. Just by not being in the losers bracket, which was pretty rough. I think the losers bracket and that was very scary.
In saying that, the 3 opponents that you versed, the first one was Roginator, which is actually like he's a very decent player in the Perth locals. Next was Belbass, community ambassador,
Oh
and
yeah.
also a very good competitor as well. And then third was Jins, which is also someone that has qualified for Worlds through the Oceania leaderboard. So like they weren't easy for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I was not like really in this scene, so I just kind of had no idea who any of these people were. I was like, oh, look, this is just another person. But yeah, I think because of how I did, I ended up losing to Avrip, placing me fifth, right behind him.
Sorry,
I
bro.
was very happy with my performance because my team building and all that stuff wasn't really like I didn't scrim, like I didn't see what the meta was actually looking like. I only had like Go Battle League knowledge, so I just went with the Pokemon that I felt comfortable with. And then I think because of how well I did, I decided to kind of lock in for the rest of the season. Like, okay, maybe this is like a good chance to kind of get into things and take it more seriously.
Yeah, and going for it like, top 5 again, like similar to Adam, securing a whole chunk of CP in the start of the season is a really nice start. And, taking the plunge to come all the way to Perth to, start off your season as well. Whereas I know a lot of people from the over East is kind of like, I'll see how I go over East and then like don't bother with Perth. And I think that's, set you up. But talking about Perth, another Perth local, Jai, again, we're talking about your run. You did incredibly well all the way to a runner-up. Hey, I feel like I'm a bit deja vu. Did we do this before?
Not very original, buddy.
So for my Perth run, it was coming out of last year's Perth run and wanting to qualify for Worlds again, so I could actually go this time. So leading up to it, I had I don't know, the locals I had been going to, I'd been doing pretty rough, like infamously just terrible placings at locals. I didn't even win one. I didn't win one cup. And so I was like, this is not a good start. And then there was one cup before heading to Perth, and I lost again, unsurprisingly. But the big takeaway was looking at some of the meta changes, and there's something like less. The meta was it was just like a Thunder Shock update and something else, and I was looking for something like unassuming that could break the meta, and I settled on the pancake, and the pancake was the real MVP of that run. And then, of course, I had to chuck on A9. And besides that, I think it was probably the worst team I've ever built. It was really good until it saw Drapion and a Mudslapper. And throughout all my games, all day, I didn't see Drapion or a Mudslapper. Oh, I saw a Mudslapper, but no Drapion until the winners finals. And I think that I must have been wishing on my lucky stars or something, because there is no way that I had any business winning that winners finals. But good old Mr. Flames fan, my good friend, turned his thinking cap on and absolutely ripped me to shreds in the grand finals, as he should. And yeah. But yeah, I always feel like I level up a bit when we're playing at a regional. Last year, I just kind of went game for game, and I just was in the zone. And this year was much of the same. Yeah, until the grand finals, when I lost, when he reset the bracket, my mental kind of went down a bit. I'd come off about an hour and a half break, and that probably didn't really help either. So, but yeah, I'm still proud of my run. Second place, nothing to frown about. Always wish I could secure the medal, but I'm glad that he got one.
Yeah, I mean, look, put it this way. It's insanely impressive to get second place at both of your first two regionals, Perth back-to-back, the 2024 and then 2025. It's kind of just insanity, quite frankly. It's pretty sick. So I guess, like, after getting that second place, how did you feel immediately after, in terms of, I mean, not only like your sort of plans for Worlds, but I guess just like sort of, I guess, getting a bit of a reputation if you didn't have one already?
After I won round one, and I was winning like that very second game, I was like, I'm gonna win this whole tournament. And I took that mentality kind of until the last. All the matchups I was seeing were like favorable, so I was like, yeah, I could really do it. And then I got to the end, and it was not as good as I remember. But of course, I was really happy. I was really happy to go and do an interview with you guys. That was really and yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that I choked right at the end again, but can't complain. You know, it was a sick experience, and I can't wait to do it again next year. Oh, +1.
Yeah, fair enough. With the +1, but also don't dog on the team too much because I stole it the next day for the cup and got points. So like thumbs up from me. That's a.
I'm glad you got points with it the next day because I to the Rockingham Cup and I whiffed again.
Nah, that's fine. You're just letting someone else have a turn. You didn't need the points, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steve needed the points to qualify, let's be honest. So
Oh,
so really, Jai helped you qualify for Worlds. That should have been in the video.
yeah.
yeah. Put me in the
Jai.
thumbnail.
All right, I'll put Silhouette Pikachu right back in. But
Oh.
look, and here's the thing: we haven't mentioned this so far in the recording. Jai's actually so busy and so good at this game that he's actually going to have to like dip during this recording to play in the Australis Shield like finals, which I think is going to come up. They're 1-1 at the moment, and he plays next. So we'll sort of leave Jai be for a little bit. So feel free to mute the call and come back.
Will do when they call my name.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Yeah, when you get calls. But look, we'll take a little bit of a detour, I suppose, because this was the first regional of the season in the Oceanic region. All of you guys did insanely well. Like top 6 is such an incredible accomplishment on its own. But then we do have a little bit of a detour for Adam, who went to EUIC. So I guess, briefly, Adam, do you want to just talk about your, I guess, how you got to EUIC and your experience sort of attending the IC?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to talk about this because going to EUIC was probably what you'd call a living nightmare. It was
I just remembered
the
that's why I'm
worst
laughing.
experience
I'm
I've
just
probably ever had.
Why was this eventful? They're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. So here's what happened. So I had won a travel award to EUIC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in order to claim this reward and sort of participate, they send you what's called a priority email through your email. Okay, and then if you miss this short period of time, you don't secure a spot in the tournament, despite winning a travel award. Let me mention. So this tournament filled up in the blink of an eye. 400 people max. Pokemon Go never happened ever. And of course, me, being the smart person I am, missed the registration, and that was it. I sort of didn't know what to do. I messaged a bunch of people. I got in contact with Play Pokemon, even RK9, and it was looking very grim, very grim. Until I heard that they were doing a last minute a last minute registration. Sorry. And there was only roughly about 10 or so spots in this registration. So I had to stay up until 3 a.m. Perth time and click refresh on this page while I'm sleep deprived and just wanting nothing more than to sleep. So after that, I was spam clicking the refresh button, and I've never put in my credit card details so quickly, and eventually got the spot in. So that was a relief. But yeah, after I after I got through all that and went there, had a decent run. Not the best, not the worst. I was sort of up in the air regards to teams because I only found out that I was going roughly a week or so before that. So I ended up choosing Morpeko actually, which was a bit of a spice pick for that tournament. Surprisingly, I did match up with a few other people that were running Morpeko. I didn't think I'd see a single one, so that was interesting to see. But then I ended up versing Mr. Tho Technical, and he sort of kicked my ass 0-2. So that got me out of the tournament. But I still got some points for that. I think it was top 100 or something. So not the worst considering how many people there was. But just to be there and experience it after what I went through was a bit of, it was a sigh of relief. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we were all watching for the sidelines and look, again, the entire idea of this like travel award and stuff, you get the priority email, so you avoid all of the stress of having to register. That's the entire point. And yet
That's
Adam was like, you know what? That would be too easy. I want to really
I had to put it to the test.
Yeah. I want to go for that round to 0 that the other games always talk about, actually getting into the tournament. I want the real challenge. But yeah, it's still a pretty solid run, all the same. Getting points, also a nice spot. Where did that I guess put you in terms of qualifying for Worlds? Like how safe was your position after that?
I because I earned quite a bit of points from that. It put me up there, but I wasn't quite safe. So I knew I either had to compete at one more major tournament or try and sweep every single local from here on out. And so I guess the next best bet was to attend NAIC, which sort of got me the points I needed. But to answer your question, after London, I was safe, but not too safe.
Okay.
Really.
Fair enough. It's like, you could decide that to risk it, but it would be a risk. And so maybe not
Exactly.
the best. Fair
It
enough.
wasn't guaranteed. No.
Yeah. But of course, NAIC wasn't the only other tournament you played in the season, because next in the Oceanic region was Brisbane, which was in, was
Brisbane,
that
yes.
February or March? Somewhere in there.
I'm gonna say
March.
All right,
Yeah,
we're trusting
yeah,
him.
yeah.
We're definitely in March, where you guys again all three competed, and so I guess Jum, you did again quite well in this tournament, especially when, as you've said, this is sort of a I guess it's a breakout season for you. How did Brisbane go on your end?
Yeah, so Brisbane was the first tournament where I kind of actually set like a goal, like I wanted to do well. Like I put in like a lot of effort preparing for it, and if I bombed, I probably would be really upset, as opposed to like the previous tournaments where if I just drop out 0-2, I probably wouldn't be that upset. I would just like, it's a fun holiday type of thing. So this is the first time where I actually started scrimming and like playing in these practice tournaments beforehand. I actually, tried a few teams, wrote down like which Pokemon I was winning with, and like that type of stuff. So it was actually quite a lot of prep that I put into Brisbane. I'm pretty sure Brisbane was also just after another meta shakeup. I'm pretty sure both Australian tournaments so far have been right after a shakeup, so that doesn't help. Like I can't just steal someone's team from a previous regional and like run with that. So my Brisbane run started off. I was really nervous going in because of this whole new mindset of setting a goal of doing well. And then I remember my first round, I was against Yetaruna, a really great battler from South Korea. So it was already pretty scary. And then she narrowly beat me in the first round, putting me into the losers bracket. And that I was like really crushed mentally. Like setting up all these expectations and then immediately losing the first round. Having like a really long losers run ahead was not great for my mindset. But after playing into some more losers games, I kind of got back some momentum, and I just played game after game. It was like pretty much non-stop playing, I think, for that day. I ended up losing to a local of mine, which was I saw the bracket and I'm like, I really hope Rick doesn't drop to losers, because I out of everyone, I think Rick is probably in the tournament the persons I played the most, because we always attend the locals together, and he has definitely at that time that for sure definitely a better matchup into me. Like his record was really strong into me, and I'm pretty sure his team was like solid into mine. I didn't really see Malamar as that much of a threat, but my team looking back was pretty weak to Malamar. I did win one game, which I'm pretty happy with. I think I made the right calls that game, but then so winning the first game and then I dropped the next two. But in the end, that placed me seventh. And I'm not too upset with that, after especially how the day started. I was more relieved, that I actually managed to go through this loser run, and it's probably a good experience for me to help me with my future loser runs. Yeah, foreshadowing, but
Oh, that's
yeah. So
that's okay with the foreshadowing, but I think like it's very hard in regards to the Asian circuit coming into the Australian circuit, because someone like Yetaruna, which is an extremely accomplished player, getting that into round one, it's hard because she doesn't get seeded. So it just means that you just get kind of thrown there. Whereas I believe that with your Perth run, that you would have got possibly some sort of seeding into Brisbane. So it's just kind of like, oh yep, and you get matched up with Yetaruna. You're like,
yeah.
just a bit
I
unlucky.
remember crashing out in my group chat, my friend's group chat.
This seeding is absolutely
Right.
rubbish. This, the Asian players getting to have no seeding.
Yeah, pretty much. But in the end, I'm very happy with my results, so
Yeah.
can't complain.
Nice
Yeah.
to be a fly on the wall on group chat. No, all good. Going back to Adam now. Adam, you went to Brisbane as well. Now after coming from your Perth run and then heading into Brisbane, because I think Brisbane, not only that did you play the regional, but I believe you kind of did a bit of a holiday while you were over there.
Yeah, just because I didn't want to go and just do the regional. I obviously wanted to make a little bit of a trip out of it. So I ended up going to Movie World when I was there, so that was pretty cool. I haven't done that since I was
Nice.
a child.
Sick.
But unfortunately, the two rides I wanted to go on, the only two rides I actually cared about, the Scooby Doo ride and the Superman ride, were both closed.
No.
I was a very sad boy. Yeah.
The Scooby Doo ride's like the sickest ride in the world.
Yeah, tell me about it. And I couldn't experience it, but
Aw.
it was still good though to go there, I guess. But yeah, upsetting that happened. And I guess yeah, Brisbane was good. I didn't place the best in that one. I think I made it to winners round three and then got taken out by Sammy P. But it's fine. You're not always going to have the best tournament results, regardless of how much you practice, because sometimes you'll just get into games, you just won't get the best scenarios. You'll get either you'll get RPS'd or someone just outplays you, but you can't be too upset over those sort of things. You sort of just have to take it on the shin and just keep in mind that maybe next time will be better. You can readjust your team, readjust your strategies. It just means you have to go back to the drawing board and sort of reevaluate your play style and just go from there, really. So it's a good learning experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
sort of unfortunate in Oceania as well, I guess, with the fact that there are only those sort of 3 tournaments in our region, where if you do sort of not to use the word like bomb out, but if you sort of don't succeed, I guess, in one tournament, you've really got to lean on those other 2. I guess in your case, on the sort of international championships as well, which is also a big win behind the travel award system as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, because I didn't do that well in Brisbane, I wasn't able to earn the points to sort of make me feel safe. So that's where the next travel came in that after. But yeah, I was hoping to sort of secure some sort of CP that tournament, but unfortunately just missed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just missed out as well. It wasn't just like, oh, it was like a big miss
Mm,
out. It was like literally like
so close.
the next in line. But
Yeah.
again, as I mentioned to Jum, like it was just unfortunate that you in your third matchup you were against Choose. Again, another Japanese player that comes into the Australian circuit unseeded. So it's just kind of like, well, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And yeah, even going back to what I said, more and more people are, sort of traveling around the world to go to these Australian tournaments. And especially if it's not seeded, you're sort of a gamble. Like, who are you going to verse? Are you going to verse some top player from around the continent, or, just some guy just starting off? Like, you never really know. And so it's always good to sort of prepare yourself for these tournaments in case that happens.
Yeah, for sure. And look, Jai is currently battling Gone on stream, so we'll sort of get back to him in a sec. But I guess, like, just as a bit of an, season update, because we are sort of going through this chronologically, because Jai did, quite decent as well in this tournament. He was able to place 13th, so top 16 at Brisbane. And so heading into Melbourne, which is, I guess, the next tournament on the calendar, all 3 of you were in the world's qualification bracket. So Jumothy, like, insanely massive, like, run with 2 top 8 finishes, 1 in that top 6 as well, where Jumothy, you were like second on the leaderboard at 800 CP. I mean, at that point, you must have been like pretty confident you were going to Worlds, right?
Yeah, I was more so chasing the travel award because it would make it a lot more easier for me to go to Worlds. But I was okay with the fact that if I bombed, I would still qualify for Worlds.
Yeah. As opposed to, Adam, like, I'm looking at a screenshot and it looks like you were 8th on the sort of 10-person leaderboard at the sort of 10-person qualification zone at the time. So I can definitely understand there being some unease, but I guess in your head, like, because you didn't attend Melbourne, what was your sort of, reasoning or logic to not attend Melbourne and lean more on an AIC instead?
Oh, look, I was really on the fence about if I wanted to actually go to Melbourne or not to try and secure some points, I guess. but decided not to in the end. I just thought because I had a chance to win the NAIC Travel Award as well, so I thought I may as well just go there, make a bit of a trip out of it, and just see what I can do to potentially just grab the remaining points that I needed to feel comfortable, and just go from there. Really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because look, Jai's in a similar spot where he didn't attend Melbourne either. So I guess, Jum, what was your experience going to Melbourne? As I suppose the only guy here that actually competed.
Yeah, I think for Melbourne was probably the most confirmed tournament that I was going to when the season got announced, just because for me it's a much shorter trip than anything, even like Perth, even like Brisbane. So
Yeah.
He hears this
yeah,
enough.
so I guess so I guess for me, I was as you said, I was in a pretty good spot. So I don't think I was as stressed as I was for Brisbane. I didn't even bother building my own team. I just kind of took the winning team in the previous regional, because this is the first Oceania tournament that we actually had like decent data going into. So I'm like, I might try, see how it goes if I just copy someone's team. Maybe this is how. Maybe it works for me, maybe it doesn't. But well, so yeah, I took Sustenance Eater's team, and then it was a big shock for me to find out like the previous week that he's actually coming, and yeah, he actually did beat me with his when I was using his team. So it did not feel
He changed his
like
team
even
look.
when I got drafted. Yeah, when I got drafted that matchup, I felt like I was already at a disadvantage because I've been playing with this team for like 5 days, when he's probably got like months of preparation leading to his previous regionals.
Mhm.
Yeah, and something about Melbourne, there was a lot of international players, so the seating was pretty scary. But I think I was lucky to dodge them until maybe like around the middle of the pack, where I versed Sustenance Eater. So once again, getting dropped to the losers bracket by an international player, and then funnily enough, I think it was the game to go to top 8. So I also played another one of my locals again. So it was against Egon or Gon. And I think I got what I deserved for just straight copying his team. Because yeah, I looked at his team and I'm like, this is 100% like drafted to beat this like out of pocket Sustenance Eater team. And so when we played, it felt really hard for me to find any lines. I felt like I had to make the 1 in 3. I have to get this Pokemon in the exact spot I need it. So, and I'm happy I won one game, but in the end, yeah, it was pretty rough, and he's a strong opponent. So he definitely took the steps needed to press the advantage, and he took me out. So once again, losing to another one of my locals. And I'm pretty sure both of them got like top 4, or
Yeah, I
maybe
think
I thought.
Sustenance Eater was top 6, maybe.
Hmm.
Oh
He,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he lost to Gone.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
top 8. But yeah, we talked
yeah,
to Gon last week on the podcast, and yeah, he talked about how he literally just built a team to beat the Sustenance Eater team. That was like his one goal.
yeah. I think it was kind of deserved, because the team had 3 placements in the previous regional. It
Mhm.
seemed super dominant. It was kind of on me to the fact that I didn't expect anyone to counter it. I think I was just kind of sitting in my high chair, thinking,
Well, you
what's the
can take
worst
the
that could
risk.
happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be
It was
fair,
a good team though.
yeah, very good team. But also the fact that this is your like, I guess, bomb out regional of the 3 Oceanic regionals is like, oh no, I came 9th. It's just crazy, and it really does speak to a pretty incredible season. I mean, I know I was talking to Fortois, who was really sort of doing a lot of travel award calculations as well, and like essentially you were sort of in competition with Fortois in some sense, and he was like, if anyone is able to sort of pass me, I sort of hope that it is Jumothy, because he feels like he deserves it. Like, I'll feel good if Jumothy does it, because
Oh.
you have had just a cracker of a season. 5th, 7th, 9th is pretty awesome. to say the least.
Yeah, that's quite nice as well. I'm quite happy with the season, even though right after Melbourne, I wasn't too happy with my performance. But I think that was just like in the moment. Like looking back, I'm definitely very happy for how I did.
And you should be, I think. And look, Jai still battling on stream. So again, we're just going to have to come back to him a little bit. Not that he played at Melbourne, but we can now move on to, I guess, the last tournament of the season, where again, all three of you did compete in. So did someone else on this podcast. North American International Championships. Yeah, Debbie wasn't there. So all three of you guys competed, and I would argue did quite well on the whole as well. And so I guess, like, John, we can sort of just keep going with you. I guess, what were your goals going to NAIC, and then how did it go for you?
Honestly, I had no idea what to expect because this is my first time going international for a tournament. I know like maybe some of the other people, even in the Aussie community, probably have met like a lot of these other like international people in previous like worlds runs or previous EI like ICs. But I really had no idea who anyone was. I couldn't put like a name to a face, and so for me, I was kind of just there to maybe get points. I think if I got points, that would put me into the travel award above the stipend. So there was some motivation for me. But all in all, I felt a lot less nervous for NAIC than I did for the Aussie ones, just because I don't think there was as much pressure for me to like get this placement. So yeah, I did practice a lot more for this one than I did for Melbourne. Also with the crazy new season didn't help. Uh, Ended up just forming a team that I liked. Definitely had some holes, but ended up losing round one again to Speediest Chief, who at the time I didn't know was a caster until I was like, I recognize it. I recognize the face. I remember seeing him on YouTube. So yeah,
I laugh because I remember M writing in the Discord going, "Oh, Jum's, a bit of foreshadowing, but later versing him again. It's like, oh, I was versing the guy that he lost to, and I had a look at your like placing. I'm like, it's Speedy as Chief. What?
yeah. um, that was a pretty hard matchup. I think at the first when I played him, I was trying to play more neutrally, because that's just kind of the style I've kind of adapted over the season. I don't want to, spend $3,000 traveling to play rock paper scissors. So I decided to, at least if I'm gonna lose, probably I want to lose like at my own merit. Um, but I think the team comp advantage was, I mean, the team comps, like the matchups were pretty hard. He had some real big core breakers, like multiple. I was not expecting Guzzlord. I don't think I played a single one in like the 2 weeks of preparation. He had Galarian Wheezing, which kind of was a recent thing. I saw a few days before the tournament, but I like one of them would be okay, but both of them together were pretty rough for my team. So in the end, I lost the round one. And then so round one losers bracket, I thought I'd feel really bad, but for some reason this time, I guess I was not feeling as bad. Once again, I think just because of my previous experience with Brisbane, it felt more like I felt more comfortable in this spot. I played my next few games like back to back again, and definitely felt like I was gaining momentum again. And then I ended up seeing that I was facing Speediest Chief again for, I think that this was the game to get me to the top 64, which is what was my my goal. So I was feeling quite nervous that I had to play the same person I lost to, and it was a pretty bad loss. It was like a 0-2. I think he had two Pokemon both times he beat me. So I decided to, change my game plan. I was like, if that time didn't work, I'm just gonna go full lead into the rock paper scissors. I think that's my best shot. And luckily for me, I think it was a stroke of luck, but I came out with a win for me. So I'm very happy with that. And then I think I versed Dial Up Churn next, which he's been hosting a lot of the tournaments that I was practicing in. So I knew he was like a big name. So we had really similar teams. I'm pretty sure we only had like one or two Pokemon difference. So it was definitely a skill matchup. I think no team comp advantage, but he definitely got the better of me, which I'm okay with. He definitely deserved to win that, and I'm already happy with where I placed. So that ended my NAIC run, and just in general, my first attending a international championship was a great experience. Seeing just not only just like the competitive side, but just like the convention as a whole was. It was a big like eye opener for me because it's a lot bigger in scope compared to the ones I'm used to seeing in Oceania. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do
sort
you
of had
mean with
two
the?
questions for you, and the first was like, I guess the scale of the tournament compared to what we get back home. Now, we did have OCIC back in 2023 that was like, I guess, a taster of that vibe. But I know that you didn't attend that. I mean, you weren't around at the time, and so
Yeah, I wasn't
yeah,
born
I
yet.
imagine. Yeah. But getting to attend what might be the biggest, if not close to, sort of tournament, I guess, other than Worlds, which is another step up past that. Be ready for that. It's I guess an eye-opening experience, and also gets you that foot in the door, so that you do start to get on flat footing by the time the World Championships comes around. But the other thing I wanted to ask you was sort of around the I guess you sort of mentioned that, you don't really know who these are, like, quote unquote big names are in the grand scheme of things. And I in some sense, I'm out of touch in many ways, where like if I attend NAIC, for example, I sort of know a lot of the people. I've either met them before, or done streams or whatever with them before. What was the experience like for you going to this tournament where, unlike so if you go to an Australian regional, you sort of like generally know everyone, you sort of see the names pop up. What was it like on that sort of thing to go to somewhere where you kind of don't know that many people, and it was mostly just the sort of I guess Aussies that were around you?
Um, it was quite cool. I enjoyed like kind of, piecing together, well, this Discord person is this guy. And I think as a whole, I think I've been getting more into the community, the Pokemon Go community. So it was nice to kind of start bridging the gaps between my online like presence and my in-person presence. So I'm definitely happy to meeting more of the people in Worlds and, kind of getting more into the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good attitude to have. And like, I know that when you attend Worlds, you'll bump into Speediest Chief and he'll say hey, and it from experience, I can say it sort of grows and grows and grows how many people are sort of in your circle as time
Yes.
goes on, which it's cool to sort of, I guess, that get that ball rolling, because I'm sure that it's not the first nor the last experience like that, for sure. Especially with some other
Yeah.
travel awards that I guess we'll talk about as well. But I guess, Adam, I've just looked at the screen, and I think Jai is literally he's moved on. He won his battle against Gon, so well done, Jai. He's now
Oh,
in the
good on
grand
him.
finals.
Well done.
But that just means that we'll just have to talk with you guys for a little bit longer. So, Adam, how is your NIOC experience as someone who has sort of attended ICs in the past?
Oh, NAIC was so cool, honestly. It was my first time actually being in the States. The closest I was Hawaii for the World Championship there. So just to touch down in America itself was such an amazing experience. It's such a different culture shock compared to Australia. Um, they say Australia's backwards, but for me it felt like the other way around. People are driving on the wrong side of the roads. I was like, where do I look left? Do I look right when I'm crossing the road? Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was a complete tourist, but I wouldn't want it any other way, obviously. But yeah, then so for my goal for this trip was I obviously wanted to try and secure some points. That was the main goal I wanted. Obviously, you want to do as best as you can. Obviously try and make it to day two or championship Sunday if you're that good, I guess. But for me, I achieved what I was after, and I had a pretty good run, so I can't really complain. I ended up making it to the losers final. I was one win away off making it to day two, so close. And I only lost to one person throughout the whole tournament, if that makes any sense. He versed me in
It
the
does.
winners bracket. He beat me, put me in the losers bracket. I had a good run then, and then I met this person at the very end in the losers finals, and ended up losing. And that person was Arceus Aurelius, and he got the better of me. And there was unfortunately one slight thing that happened in the games which sort of threw me off balance. I guess you could put it. So in the game one that we played in the winners bracket, I had my Scizor up against his Cofagrigus. Yes, you heard
Runerigus.
that right.
Runerigus.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Runerigus. Runerigus. See, you can see I rarely ever verse this thing. I don't even know the name of it. So I had no idea what this thing did. I had no idea the counts because I thought, no one's going to run this thing, but here I was. And actually, I didn't think it was the worst matchup because I know that Scizor's bullet punches just sort of melt through most things like it's butter. And so I was farming up. I got to the Night Slash, got a boost at the very first Night Slash. I was like, okay, this game's done. I was looking at his team sheet. He just loses to fast moves, and then about 3 seconds later, both of our phones crash at the exact same time, and had to rematch. And obviously, we had freedom of choice, but we both obviously chose the same things in the end. It was Scizor against Runerigus, and I didn't get the boost that round. And it's sort of just lost from there. And then he eventually just kicked me out of the losers bracket, which ended my run. But I achieved what I wanted there. I was happy nevertheless just to sort of be there and experience it in person. And for me, NAIC felt like a mini Worlds because the amount of players that you just sort of see through a screen. You're watching them on live streams, you're seeing them on YouTube, and then to be surrounded by them is just, it's a one of a kind experience, really. But obviously, the talent is just ridiculous. Obviously, you've got Axon there, who's just insanely cracked at the game, winning yet another massive tournament. But I guess you sort of just go in the games and try not to think about this person's such a big name. You just sort of play to the best of your abilities and try and just focus on what you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see such a eventful season for you. Like you had, although the little mishap
Eventful.
of eventful is probably the right word.
It was very eventful.
Yeah,
Yes,
a
that's the exact
season.
way to put it.
But going to our two ICs, two regionals, it's pretty cool, and the fact that that it all led to you now securing your fourth time to Worlds, and back to America again. It means that you don't have to do your Esther one more time. But,
It's a relief.
again, securing some points that have secured your spot. So that was the main key, and you got your objective there. Now, is Jai still playing? Is that
Yep, he's still playing. The grand finals are going on. There might actually be a potential rematch going on at the moment. I don't know. Maybe both of their phones crashed at the same time. But we'll see how the battles keep unfolding.
Jai has just typed in where I said like, is he still playing? And then he wrote, and he's winning.
All right. Well, that presumably means that he's like still listening to it. Like he's sitting there like playing this matchup in the grand finals of the Australis Shield, and he's sitting there still listening to us yap. So,
Yep. I believe so.
He's typing. So hi Jai. Everyone say hi
Jai.
Jai in the comments.
Hi, Jai.
Hi, Jai.
Well, I kind of wanted to brief and talk about Jai's day 2 run in NAIC, but I think we're just gonna have to come back to that when he jumps back on later. But I suppose now we can go back to Jum. Now, as Steve kind of already touched on earlier, this will be your first Worlds. So how do you feel going into it?
Honestly, very excited. I don't think I'm really looking into this Worlds like I need to place a certain thing. I'm just kind of there to get the vibes, meet new people, have fun, which I think is just how Pokemon Go should be. I feel like that's something I've learned over my first real competitive season is that taking the game super seriously and playing for placements definitely does take the joy out of it and makes it a lot less enjoyable. So I've been trying to take a different approach, maybe just by enjoying myself, I can play better, and that way I'll probably have a better time and place better. So looking towards, I'm just kind of just there to go experience it. Very excited, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had sort of any advice to anyone else that are sort of jumping in, but you've kind of just given it, I suppose, to sort of new players that are sort of looking to jump in.
Yeah, I think definitely you just naturally get better just by playing. So if it's enjoyable to play and you just naturally play like these local tournaments and maybe even some regionals, you definitely get there in the end.
Yeah, and I think that's, I guess, a sentiment that is echoed quite a bit by a lot of players that go around, where it's sort of like the more that you're enjoying yourself, the more that you'll actually want to improve. You'll actually want to sort of keep playing the game, and you'll just learn things as you go. Whereas if it becomes like something stressful or something that's really like almost like work, then you start to avoid it. You start to not want to do it. You don't actually learn as well. And so maybe it's a lesson to try and take on board as you sort of head into the future, I guess. And so if you want to join in, and it'll be like Jumothy and, play one season, 3 regionals and place like top 8 and ninth, then the guy's got something to it, apparently. I don't think I've beaten you since the literal start of the season. Which hey, maybe if I just look to have fun, then I can beat you next time. Maybe.
Yeah, you need to probably play the dub wool. I think
Oink
that's a
alone.
secret. Oink alone, yeah. Oh
Oh,
We
yeah, my bad.
don't talk about Oink alone. We'll wait for its community day move to come eventually for sure.
I
But I guess
voted for it.
one day I voted for it as well, to be fair. But Adam, as a 4th time Worlds qualifier, I mean, like, you're so used to it that we've literally had you on the podcast to talk about your sort of run up to Worlds twice before, and we've asked you the sort of same question both times. But I'll ask it again because I'm sure that your feelings on the game and your I guess position in Pokemon Go changes as time goes on. If you had to give advice to someone that is sort of getting into PvP or is looking to, give the championship series a bit of a run, wants to even go for the world championships one day, what would you sort of tell them as sort of, I guess, the how to approach things going forward?
I think if someone's extremely serious about learning, then they will be a good student. I think that's probably the number one thing in this game. It's all learning. It's constantly learning. And to get that experience, you obviously want to start off small, with either GBL, or after you've sort of got your toe in the water there, then obviously move on to show 6 tournaments at locals. But I think you guys hit the nail on the head before by saying you want to just have fun, really, because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to have that drive to get better. And obviously that's the number one thing, isn't it? But yeah, it's all practice, it's all learning. Watch streamers, watch YouTube videos, practice your counts, and without if you keep doing it over and over, consistency is key, and you'll just naturally become a better player over time.
Yeah, 100%. I really liked the bit where you said watch YouTubers. That's really good advice. That's a good one. Keep that in mind. Podcast as well. But I guess that we're going into Worlds, like we are how many weeks away? Like we're currently recording this on the 20th of July. 1, 2, 3, like 4 weeks away. Until the World Championships. So
Yeah.
how are you guys preparing to head into Worlds? And have you started? Because I'll be honest with you, I have not yet. What about
Okay.
you, Jumothy?
Take a slash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly have not, because my excuse, I feel like it's more of an excuse at this point that I haven't started prepping because I was saying, I have to wait for ages slash. But now that it's a confirmed ban, I guess I have no real excuse, and I still haven't really started. I was gonna do a practice tournament that it's probably starting in 10 minutes, but I don't think I can attend that one. But
Hey,
that's
it
fine.
hasn't stopped Jai. He's battling right now.
Okay, maybe I'll just need to pop in. So I think it's about to start up my practice. I'm probably looking to uh do the same strategy I did for Brisbane, where I kind of document my teams and how they perform, like which Pokemon I generally mesh with more. Um, but besides that, yeah, trying to take it relaxed. Not trying to stress myself out too much. Definitely, that's probably the biggest change in mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And Jai's given us an update as well that he made a team sheet error in his battles. I'm looking at the screen and I'm going to
Oh
assume that
dear.
it's probably the fact that his Alola Ninetales is non-shadow. because that seems out of character to me. But maybe he can. A ding, ding, ding. He says so. 1 point on the board for Steve, I guess. So hopefully he can play through that and figure it out somehow. But I guess Adam, are you in a similar boat to Jim, where you just haven't quite jumped in yet? Whether it was because of an age/excuse or just wanting to take a bit of a break, not wanting too long a run up. How's your world's prep looking?
So I've started actually, but for me, I want to try and find a team that I'm feeling 100% comfortable with, because I feel like if you're using mons that are not to your play style, then you're not going to do the best. And saying that, I've done quite a lot of scrims. I'm trying to find the team that clicks, but I'm having a bit of trouble at the moment. But I think that's normal because obviously we've still got a few weeks left. There's still plenty of time to prepare. And you want to find that team that is sort of giving you enjoyment. You're getting more consistent wins, but to me, I think even if you're losing, it's not really a loss. It's just a chance to learn from what you've done wrong, either by a wrong team read or bringing the wrong Pokemon of 3 into your opponent's team, to try and minimize RPS. But yeah, it's getting there. I like a few Pokemon. I've got some in mind, but I'm just sort of finalizing the pieces to the puzzle. And once I do, I'm just going to stick with the team, sort of just grind every night for maybe a week or two in advance, considering we've only got 3 weeks. But yeah, that is my plan, and I'm hoping to try and put in a good placement in Worlds and not embarrass myself.
Yeah, that's actually a reasonable question as well. What is your goal for the World Championships?
I'm winning it.
All right.
No.
Sorry, positions
I mean,
taken.
That's
obviously, yeah.
solid.
I mean, you want to feel confident, I guess, but you also don't want to psych yourself out. You don't want to be overconfident. You don't want to be underconfident. You need to find the right balance. And you need to be at that mindset of, if I lose game 1 to this opponent, it doesn't mean I'm out yet. I've still got another chance. And for me, I'm practicing in a different sort of sense, in learning how to sort of like learning the mindset of the game, and realizing that if you lose, you shouldn't be upset at all. Like, there's no reason to be. You just have to learn from what you've done, instead of putting emotion into the game, because it doesn't help you when you're going into the next game if you're still thinking about the previous loss. So that's what I'm sort of teaching myself, and it's definitely coming in handy, because you'll lose 0-3 in scrims, but instead of being upset, you'll understand why, and not make those mistakes in the future.
Yeah, fair enough. And look, I think we've only got sort of 2 questions for each of you, except for Jai. We can go back to Jai when he's currently 1-1 in the grand finals, and it might even be a best of 5. So they might have to go for a while.
I think it's a best of 5. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be like soloing that one after and just let Jim play his practice tournament. And so I guess I'll start with you, Jim. Actually, what are your plans, or have you even started thinking about your plans for the next season? Because I know that as it stands, you are looking at a stipend for LAIC, I believe. Have you thought about the next season at all?
I have thought about, okay, LAIC is one thing I've thought about, but looking at the prices, it's really the flights are really turning me off the LAIC.
Yeah.
I would love to go. I just don't know if it's a wise decision for me to.
I hear phones get stolen there.
Yeah, it can be even more
that's that.
expensive than you realize.
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing the worst phone I have.
I thought about
yeah,
buying
but
Steve a dummy phone, like just a fake phone,
Ooh.
empty inside but weighted, and then like he could just like do a switcheroo if someone holds him up. But I was like,
Not a bad idea.
oh well. Well, he better learn his lesson first time round. So
I don't know. We'll see.
that's what travel insurance is for.
Yeah, thanks, travel insurance. Except for not for that one. I got $0 off that phone.
Yeah, your phone was old though.
It was old.
Oh.
It was old. It was due for a
That's for the
replacement.
best.
Yeah, I was telling people
They did you a favor.
In
Yeah,
some
they did,
sense, they did.
honestly.
They just take it off my hand. I was telling people at the time that I almost bought a new phone for LAIC.
Oh,
and,
God.
Close call on that one.
Mm.
And I guess same question to you, Adam. What are your current thoughts for, I guess, the future of your competitive season? Like, you've qualified for 4 Worlds. You're going to your 4th Worlds. Obviously, the main focus for now is the World Championships itself. But do you have any thoughts of, I guess, the 2026 season? Obviously, we don't have regional announcements either, so hard to tell.
Well, I don't plan on retiring anytime soon, you know. I think I've always got things to learn. I think, regardless of if I do well or not, I'm always just going to give it my best shot. So I'm just going to see where it takes me, really. I haven't put too much thought into next season, but I'm obviously just going to take one tournament at a time, giving it my best. And, you know, if it works out, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But, you know, I obviously would like to continue to qualify for Worlds each year. To say that you're going to a world championship of anything is, I guess, you know, it's a nice thing to have under your name, but to say it 4 times, that's, you know, even better. To say 5 times, that's even better than that. So, you know, I'm here for the long run.
Solid.
Fair play.
No. I mean, I'm like, you're such a. I think when we talk about staples in the community and people that have been constantly representing Oceania, you're definitely up there. So to see you continue, I think everyone is glad that the retirement word hasn't come up yet, unlike the others that, you know, various reasons have stepped away from the game. So that's pretty cool to see you continue. Now, as you guys, or actually Adam was very familiar with, but we finish off the interviews with a random question of the day.
I was prepared.
Were you prepared? Okay. All right. Now, again, Jai is probably battling his heart out at the moment, so we'll have to circle it back to him. So it will be no longer random by the time he gets to it. But
You should ask him while he's mid-battle.
Yeah, he has to type. He has to type.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
typing.
he's typing right now. Look, we can probably, good plan, he says. We'll probably edit in sort of some of his discussion before now, so you've probably already heard it, and then, you know, I guess we'll play out the sort of random question at the very end. But
yeah, we'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
yes, the random question of the day is, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Jumothy.
I think fruit. It depends on my mood. Mango is probably the one I default to most. Yeah, so I'll just say mango.
Mango. Okay.
mango
Adam?
is an acceptable answer,
Oh.
but the instant answer of just the word fruit really threw me off.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, it's like a combo of things. Like I could think like I don't know, like tropical. Like it was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
What the heck is fruit
Yeah, we'll say
flavor?
mango.
I know. I also I know we're sort of locals in a way, but I ain't been to those stores. I don't know where they are hidden in Sydney, but anyway,
What stores? Fruit stores. Fruit ice cream
fruit
stores.
ice cream stores. I've missed them.
It's a secret for city siders.
Oh,
I see. We're
I see.
gatekeeping.
Sydney regional when, so I can try out some ice cream.
Yeah. Well, any Australian regionals when? That's
True.
real question.
All right, Adam. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
What flavor is Bubbaloo, Bill? Is that considered one flavor or multiple?
Is that bubblegum? I don't know.
Is it bubblegum flavor, or is it like a mix of 10,000 things?
Google will tell me. Oh, it is a
'Cause
classic
whatever
blend of
Bubbaloo Bill
strawberry,
is,
chocolate,
that's
and
my
caramel.
favorite.
I think
Straw-
okay, because I'm looking at the picture, and it might be the case that like the cowboy hat is caramel, the like face is strawberry. Oh no, because strawberry chocolate caramel. So the cowboy hat would be chocolate. The
Yep.
facial features, like the eye and the mouth, would be caramel, and the face
Caramel.
otherwise is strawberry, I guess.
And then bubblegum on the nose.
Yeah, and
So
then
that's not ice cream, but yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
huh? I
Okay, so
never knew.
so a certain mix of chemicals and synthetic flavors is my favorite flavor, I guess you could say.
In a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
specific proportion.
PvP
And-
Steve,
And you
what
have
is
to
your
chew on the
favorite
bubble
flavor?
gum at the end.
What's that?
PvP Steve, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, that's easy. Chocolate mint, baby. It's about as basic as you can get. That's like the default ice cream flavor that comes preloaded into your cerebral cortex when you're born. It's like, this is the default. You've got to go off the beaten path to pick a different favorite other than that, I think. But hey, I'm just
Fair
a
enough.
guy.
My
But-
favorite, probably a bit unconventional, is the classic golden gay time.
Oh, I mean,
Ooh, good answer.
Biscuits
yeah.
on the outside.
At some point, aren't you getting away from like an ice cream flavor though? Like you're talking about an ice cream at that point.
It's caramel, and then it's
Well,
like
then-
got biscuits on the outside. Also, to the Americans, it is an ice cream. By the way, I just should emphasize.
Oh yeah,
We're
that
gonna
might
get
sound a
yeah.
bit sus.
we're gonna get like all of these like comments later on YouTube being like, "She said what now?"
Yeah, I didn't even think of
Cancelled.
that. It's really good. But
I made it
anyway,
into an Easter egg flavor. Don't do that one. It wasn't very nice. I bought it.
fair enough. I don't mind the strawberry Golden Gate time, to be fair. But
Mm.
anyway, thank you to, I guess, Adam and Jumothy for coming on the podcast. Maybe we thank Jai later. Maybe we thank him now. I don't know. He's currently down 2-1 because of his team rego issue. So we'll see how the battles continue, I guess.
He says it's all done.
Oh, all done. Oh, wait, maybe the stream's on a delay. Or I'm just behind. That also might be the case. That does make me think that Jai probably went down 3-1 if I'm seeing a 2-1 on the screen, to be fair.
Yeah, you got me there. I was not aware of the team sheet error, and that kind of counts. Yeah.
Whoopsies.
No,
You got to play
all
with the
good.
shadow after that, though, right?
I did, but yeah, I would have rather have just dropped it and then taken the game win. But that's all right. He played really well.
Yeah, fair enough. But look, I mean, Adam, Jum, do you want to head off, or you just stick around and listen to Jai yap? I mean, could you imagine?
I'm not
Yeah,
fast.
I'm happy to
Yeah.
listen to you.
All right, then, Jai, we are not done the podcast yet. We still have some ground to cover.
I feel like Jumothy's got
Sorry.
his like Zencaster app on, and then he's like trying to do his like practice battle on his side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could hear him typing his team in.
That's so funny. But look, we'll speed run it. So, Jai, I guess when we last left you, you just finished second in Perth, and then also at Brisbane, you'd managed to. Oh no, we haven't talked about Brisbane, so we just have to talk about Brisbane and NAIC. So, Brisbane, tell us about your experience.
Brisbane was really fun. I roomed with Adam, so that was cool. We were doing heaps of practice battles throughout the day.
That's so weird because he didn't mention you.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
That's all right. I understand. Yeah, we were exploring Brisbane and then finding a spot to sit, doing a couple of scrims, and then
We're
did
pretty
practice.
cute like that.
Yeah, we just
Sorry.
dream Pokemon
Continue on.
couple.
Adam wanted to stay to control. That's why.
I respect it.
We played one Flash tournament the day before, and I won. I swept that one. My signature pick for that tournament was Shadow Blastoise, but I was playing it on a very not in its peak form. I was running Ice Beam, which is very much not the way to go for Shadow Blastoise, and I had a good start to the tournament. I played some people who hadn't really touched the game very much before. Game 1, I swept my first opponent, and then game 2, he caught me paw broken. I was ABA to fighting, but I luckily was able to pull myself out of that one. My round 2 was took about half an hour because the guy locked himself out of the iPad. Poor guy. Not really his fault, but it felt like ages. I thought I was going to get a game win. I feel a little bit less nervous because he had a Steelix, and Steelix kind of tore a hole through half my team. But it was fine until round 3, and I played Freezing Sun, and he knocked my teeth out. He played really well. He had a Dark type, and I had one out. He played around it very well, and I got caught ABA to Melmetal.
Cool.
This feels like really on you, man, for not preparing for Steelix and Melmetal.
Yeah, honestly. Steelix and Melmetal. They should have been at the front of my mind. And then I was sent to the losers bracket for the earliest I've ever been sent to the losers bracket.
Insane.
So then I was one way away from top 16. Played Ishikawa Boy. Very close games. I lost the first one, and I managed to get a perfect Incinerate down in the third game, which clinched the win for me. He was running Crunch Sludge Bomb Drapion, and that really helped out a lot.
Whoa.
No Aquatail for the Talon.
He is the king of spice.
Yes. Really nice to meet him. Really good game. And then I was handedly destroyed by Jumothy again. he played very not what I was expecting, and it was an A/lead into Malamar game 1, and I was like, I can just let all my shields go. There's no way he would run A. And my Shadow Blastoise ran into a Shadow Annihilate, and that was the end. But yeah, Brisbane was good fun. I was pretty disappointed with how quickly my run ended, but yeah, it was still a good tournament, and I had fun.
Yeah. And then I guess, after that, again, you didn't play in Melbourne either. Were you sort of feeling safe? Because I think you were at like 700 CP or something like that after getting second at Perth.
Yeah, the point of me going to Brisbane was so I could go to NEIC and not feel nervous to have to perform well.
Yep.
And just go there and kind of meet all these people and not have to worry about doing really bad or really well.
Yeah. So even if you bomb out at NAIC, it's all fine. You're still going to Worlds, right?
Yeah, that was the idea. That was the goal for the season, was to achieve Worlds, and I did that, so I was pretty happy.
And so how did NAIC go? Did you bomb out entirely?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Shame.
Nah. NAIC was way better than I expected. Not that I expected to do really bad, but I was open to the possibility of that happening. So my first round was actually one of Nighttime Clash's, I guess, students of his coaching. And he forgot that Alola Ninetales was a Pokemon, and his whole team soft lost to it. So
the disrespect.
I brought it up again, and I didn't get punished, and it was good. And then game 2, I played one of my friends who I had been talking to for a while back in Australia. His name was Shayna PvP. He's really good, but he had a severe softness to Lapras, and I just what do you call it? I don't know. I used Lapras a lot, and won that one 2-0 as well. My round 3 was really difficult because we had technical issues. We moved to about 4 different phones. And when we eventually, the first time we lost connection was mid-game and I was winning. So it feels really horrible to have the dispute happen, as Adam said with his game, when the lag drops in. But after that, I made it into a close game where Lapras managed to pull a shield off Jellicent because Lapras is broken. And then Dusclops managed to beat half a Mandy. And that was good. Round 4 was up on stream, winners finals, against my friend Septile Ice. Really nice guy, really good to meet him. We were backstage it felt not that long, but we were back there for like 2 hours, just waiting. We had Itzaxon in front of us and someone else. And when we finally made it on stage, I had a really not great matchup. My round 2 was disputed. I've heard a lot of people approach me and say that dispute was pretty unreasonable. Why did he get that? I actually thought it was a really reasonable dispute. And if I was him, I would have disputed also. It definitely impacted the game. I played really well that set. I wasn't able to overcome it. In the end, he made a really good play. And then losers finals was against Dr. Roast Beef, and he was quite weak to A9 as well. He had Fury Cutter, Galissapod, and Lapras, and he didn't bring Lapras. I kind of did my thing, and then it was day 2. And there was a lot of waiting on day 2. We started at 1 p.m. And my eSIM was really bad, so I couldn't.
Good save.
I wasn't. Yeah, so it was really bad. And I couldn't do any scrims, not on Wi-Fi. So I basically sat there the whole day thinking I had a free win because my Ninetales was so good. My next opponent was Battle Bill, and my Ninetales was super good. And I just wasn't able to practice. But I was really confident, whatever. We get up on stage. I win the first game. I think I got pretty lucky because I overfarmed by 1 and he caught the turn before. I still threw the Aqua Tail, but I made it look like a farm to a crunch by accident, and he shielded that, and that gave me the win on the first game. And then at that point, I was kind of nervous because I was like, oh shit, I really can't lose such an easy matchup on paper, that is. Battle Bill's a great player, but on paper, I had the matchup. So the second game, I don't think I had a negative lead, but it came down to like what I thought was a mud shot dispute. And in hindsight, that probably wasn't the best dispute, and I to him for that. But yeah, so disputed that game. Whatever, didn't work. We made it to game 3. In the end, I put it on my entire Alolan Ninetales, and I got CMP denied at the end there. And I disputed that because I thought maybe my Alolan Ninetales could have swept up a shield. All he had in the end was Fury Cutters resisted, and I could have gotten rid of Glycopod, but there was just so many. I tried to dispute, but there were so many outcomes that the judges ruled it not reasonable. So I felt quite bad for disputing afterwards, but when you feel like you should have won and there was a reasonable game error, I think it's always best to dispute. Again, it's not a nice feeling, but it's kind of necessary. But yeah, that was me. Yeah, top 32. I was very happy. More than I expected, but very happy for my first like reasonably filled up tournament to be at a IC. Also my first time to North America as well.
Yeah.
So I was very happy.
And the first Australian to ever make it into day 2 of an IC outside of OCIC. So pretty cool. And shout out to all of the Aussies that were staying up so late to watch you on stream.
That meant a lot. All the DMs. Especially the first day, yeah.
Lalu Loha changing his name to We Love Jai.
He's a true homie.
He is. Stayed up so late. He usually goes to bed pretty early and stayed up like waiting for your stream to come on.
And then a lot of people on the East Coast were waking up really early. To like, oh, we can still catch it. We can still catch it.
I think, Rocket Claire was like, she was like up all night.
Yeah, Rocket Claire was putting in a real night shift. So,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, maybe like, I don't think anyone ever talked about it or anything, I guess, over the airwaves or whatnot, but it was announced that Jai was going to be on stream so early and it was hours before it actually happened. It was kind of crazy how long the wait was.
Yeah, I spent like an hour waiting by the tables and then a couple hours backstage as well. It was just a lot of waiting.
Yeah, pretty crazy, but got there in the end. Really solid performance, putting A9 sort of in the spotlight as well, which is like not only is it cool to get such a good result, it's such a massive tournament, like, sort of the capstone tournament of the season in the lead up to the World Championships. But to do it with a signature pick at the same time is just kind of really cool. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it just felt like if I was going to use it, it may as well be at the start of the season, and it worked.
Well, I guess it depends how you want to measure it. If you want to say that like your top 32 at NAIC is sort of a better performance than your top 16 at Brisbane, but you could argue that like your best 3 performances are all with A9. So second day 2 NAIC, so pretty sick. So yeah, so we're happy. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, A9 at Worlds. Yay, nay?
If I can't find a better seat for this team, it may well be. I haven't really thought about I've been sick for the last week, so this has been like the first time I've started thinking about Worlds at all. But yeah, maybe.
All right, fair enough. And look, I guess, random question. You've already heard it. You've had plenty of time to think about it. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
I'm like quite a big sucker for like cookies and cream, but with like chunks of cookie in there. Yeah. But I also like caramel. But I also actually, you know what? It would have to be like sorbet. There's a passion fruit sorbet that I really like.
Okay,
and that would be it.
They're
That's
also
such
different.
A jump.
Yeah, I know. But I'd forgotten about that as well.
Fair enough. Well, look, that will bring us to the end of the podcast. So to all 3 of you, Adam, Jim, Jumothy, I know that someone in the Discord keeps saying Jimothy, and it really confuses me every time. Now,
that's the origin, but yes.
Yeah, of course. And then Jai as well. Thanks all for coming on to the podcast, sort of telling us about your experience through the 2025 season and in the lead up to the World Championships. So I guess best of luck to all 3 of you. Going into Worlds. I guess where can we find you after the podcast? And Adam, I mean, I know that you've just hit article 100 over on GoHub, but where can we sort of find you? And we'll put all links in the description as well, so you can scroll down there.
Oh yeah. Well, pretty much you've already mentioned the Go Hub thing. I appreciate you pointing out that I've hit 100 articles. That's a pretty big milestone for me. I've been with them for maybe about 4 or 5 years now. And I know a lot of people have written a lot more, but you've got to be proud of your achievements, I guess. So obviously there's the Pokemon Go Hub. I've got Twitter, which is sorry, let me say X. I'm never going to get used to that. X.com/GoHubAvrip. And I've also started making a few YouTube videos, I guess. I want to continue to make more, but it's just youtube.com/Avrip. I make a little series called Mind Over Meta. It's to help players try and improve their PvP skills by sort of thinking outside the box. And so, if you want to look at something different as for PvP content, maybe give it a shot and see how you like it.
I hear watching YouTubers is a good idea, so definitely
Very
check
good
that
idea.
channel out for sure. But Jumothy, where can we find you after this as well?
So I just started using social media for Pokemon Go. I have an X. It's Jumothy with 2 Y's at the end because someone else took Jumothy. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm looking into streaming, but I've been putting that off for a bit too long, so we'll see where that goes. Maybe next year.
That'd be sick. Well, look, and message me anytime. Ask any questions as well. We
Yeah,
need to
for
get
sure.
more Aussie streaming because there's not many. That's, happy to help any way I can. But Jai, what about you? Jai loves.
I've also got an X account. TheyLuvJy. You can find me there. I am also on Twitch very rarely, and I'm lazy about it. But I have plans on doing some duo streams or just some streams maybe with the boys Lyle, Jeffs, and SS Thorn to get me motivated to get back into the streaming thing.
Nice,
But
nice.
otherwise, I might do some leading up to Worlds.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
They're like your accountability buddies to
Yeah. Because otherwise, I'll never do it. Yeah.
Fair enough. We've all got to find our method somehow. But look, really looking forward to it. I mean, I guess Adam, like, are you finishing the trio? Like, and Adam streams when? Are we back?
Look, I used to stream back in the day, but I've moved house and the internet is, Perth internet is not the best. Let's just say that. So, hopefully sometime soon if I can sort a few things out. But I would love to get back into it. But it's sort of a maybe one day sort of thing.
All right. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed at the very least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look, thanks again to all 3 of you for coming on, and looking forward to seeing you all at the World Championships in 4 weeks' time. Man, and if you guys can give me a team to run, that would be sick.
We got you.
I think Steve has a bracelet for you, Adam.
True. I've got your friendship bracelet upstairs.
Looking forward to wearing that.
Maybe bring out the double as well.
All right. Cologne double. Well, let's get this thing going. Someone's got to run it. Maybe they'll get me on stream. But yeah, look, if you want to watch more of the G'day Battles podcast, you can at G'day Battles on YouTube, same place at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the rest of it. We're going to be talking to all of the other winners, the other qualifiers as well as time goes
winners
on.
In our eyes.
Yeah, they're all winners, but only one of them's going to win Worlds. So, take your pick, I guess.
Adam.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's a big compliment. I'll take it.
All right, fine. I guess
it's about time, man.
Can have it.
I'll take it, guys. Don't worry.
Thanks for the sacrifice.
Might retire,
Yeah, I think that's all the things. So I guess leave a comment. We'll get to the comment sometime later, and we'll see you in the next one. So catch you guys. Bye.
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 Now I need to find the stop button. Where's my cursor? Found it. Okay, bye.